All right, thanks. Right, so we're looking at equations and sets. Okay, we shall spend a lot of time on equations and sets. Obviously, if x minus 2 into y minus 3 equals 0, calculate the value or values of y if x equals 3.
Oh, okay.
Right, we are learning these, but for me to make sure that you learn, I first engaged the student. I was told that the best way for kids to learn mathematics is when they do math with the teacher. So, what do you think the answer to A is? If x minus 2 into y minus 3 equals 0, calculate the value of values of y if A x equals 3. What do you think the answer is? I'm giving you 2 minutes to try these, and we shall do the corrections in when you're done. Just a minute, I'm sure it's enough.
Okay.
All right, please let me know when you're done.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Pekelelo.
Okay, I'm done.
You're done. What do you think the answer is, Pekelelo?
Y is equal to 2.
Okay, let's check together.
Okay.
Let's check together. So we are given x minus 2 into y minus 3. Okay, so that's what you write down. First, write down the question. Right, we're looking at part A, and in part A, we actually are given x minus 2 into y minus 3
Mm-hmm.
equals 0. I need to confirm you're able to see what I'm writing on the board. Is that correct?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. Right, but x equals what in the part A? So we have that x is 3. I mean, I need to check if your answer is correct. So in the
Okay.
place of x, we put 3 minus 2 into y minus 3, and this equals what? 0. Well, the understanding is that x obviously here is what? It's actually
3.
3. Right, so wherever there's x, we put 3. The objective
Mm-hmm.
is to get y, and what is 3 minus 2? It's a
3
1.
minus 1.
Right, so you have this here. By
Mm-hmm.
transposition, we transpose the 3 to the other side, getting y equals 3. And so that's sort of the answer.
Oh,
Any question?
what about the 1? Where did the 1 go?
That's a good question. Where did the 1 go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a good point you're raising. So we have 3 minus 2, which equals 1, right? We could put
Yes.
1 within parentheses, like so. Right, so
Mm-hmm.
3 minus 2 equals 1, but 1 times anything equals whatever it is. So 1
I thought
times y
I thought
minus
we
3 is just y minus
transpose.
3. Because of this means that we can write y minus 3 equals 0, because 1 times y minus 3 is just y minus 3. Like 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 2 is 2. So you multiply any number by 1, you get that number.
I thought we're going to transpose it to the other side where it's gonna turn
Okay.
into a 1.
Okay, I get your point. If you could transpose to the other side so that it becomes, what do you think it's going to become when you transpose it to the other side?
-1.
Okay, good. That's an interesting point you're raising. But I need to obviously mention that we actually only transpose numbers that are being added. Okay, so if I give you 1 times x equals 0,
Mm-hmm.
what is the value of x here?
It's -1.
Okay, that's fine. Right, but first in mathematics, we need to multiply the 1 and the x. We need to multiply first. Why? Because we need to use BODMAS.
Oh, okay.
What do we use? We use BODMAS. So BODMAS rule says 1 times x. So what is 1 times x?
It's x.
Is x. And after you got x, then it means x equals 0. Then there's nothing else to do because we already got the value of x and we got that x equals 0. Do you see that?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the things that multiply, we first multiply out.
Oh,
Brackets of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. It's BODMAS rule. We first perform multiplication before we can even do addition and subtraction. So even here, we must first get rid of the brackets. And if we get rid of
oh,
the brackets here, because with the brackets around y minus 3, that's the first thing we need to get rid of. And if we multiply by 1, then we have y minus 3. How did you get y minus 3? We opened up the brackets. Brackets
mm-hmm.
first. Why? Why do we delete the brackets first? Because it's BODMAS. Okay. And the way to delete the brackets is to multiply. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Good. Next question. Part 2 now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, part B. X equals 2. So yeah, we did part A. I'm showing now question part B. What do you think the answer is there?
Let me calculate it real
Okay,
quick.
yeah, I'm giving you like a minute. Okay.
Okay.
Please let me know when you're done because I'm going to ask you what the answer is.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Pekalelo.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, what do you think the answer is, Pekalelo?
I found my answer was y is equals to 3, but I did something wrong. The second step was a bit confusing.
Okay, that's fine because we do corrections all the time. Okay, we do corrections all the time. So we're looking at part B now. Okay.
Yes.
And so what we have is we have x minus 2 into
Mm-hmm.
y minus 3. And the result is what? Is 0.
0.
Yes, because this is what was given. We're given
Mm-hmm.
this equation, so we write it down.
Okay.
And then now if x is 2, wherever there is x, we put 2 because we understand that x is what? Is
It's
2.
2.
So wherever there is x, we put 2. So we have 2 minus 2, and then we have y minus 3 equals 0. Okay,
Yes.
let's look at 2 minus 2. What is 2 minus 2?
0.
It's 0. Well done. And we get this. There's sort of a multiplication there. Right, so
Mm.
what is the value of y here? Okay, this one looks a bit tricky
Yes.
because we need to divide, we need to remove the 0. Well, that is the temptation. Temptation is to remove the 0 because, oh, we use BODMAS and we multiply out and get rid of the brackets. Okay? So BODMAS is our
Yes.
old friend from primary, so we bring that on board. BODMAS or BOMDAS or PEMDAS, whatever one calls it, by distribution. So this is going to be 0 times y, which is 0y, minus 0 times 3, which is going to be 3 times 0, equals 0. Okay, this is called distribution, or what you call the distributive is called the distributive law. Are we together? So
Yes.
that we have 0y equals, what is minus 3 times 0?
Sorry?
Minus 3 times 0
Is 0.
is 0. So this becomes 0. You can move the 0 to the other side, but it's not going to change anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives us this. And so what we have in part B, we have 0y equals 0. Then what is y out of this?
Are we going to divide the 0?
That's a good question. What do we do? I mean, if we need to solve for y here, how do we solve for y? And what is the value of y here? Okay, like if you have 2x, okay, or if we had, let me just give something very similar here in terms of variables. So if we had, for instance, twice y equals 0, what would y be out of these, Pekhalelo?
It's going to be, we're gonna divide it by 2.
You're going to divide by 2. Excellent. Well done. Good stuff. Divide by 2 both sides. And
Uh-huh.
if you do, what happens is these two guys cancel out. And when they do, we get y equals 0 divided by 2 is a 0.
0.
But
Mm-hmm.
here, what do we do?
We're gonna divide by 0.
Okay, that's the thing. We're going to divide by 0. But in mathematics, we never divide by 0
Yes, that's the problem.
because division by 0 is undefined. And that is a small trick. That is a small trick in this question. So we
Mm-hmm.
do not divide in mathematics by 0 because division by 0 is undefined. We don't
Mm-hmm.
want to get undefined answers here, but here is the exam question. It came from a past exam at grade 11, and they gave to the kids this question. So what do we
Mm-hmm.
do? We need
Are
to
we
say there is a certain number y, which when multiplied by 0 equals 0. And then what is that number y? Okay, if y were the number 2, what is 0 times 2?
0?
0. If y would be 3, what is 0 times 3?
0.
Okay, so it means that effectively y is an element of the real numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It means that y is any real number.
Yes.
Yes, it means y is any real number. So y is an element of R, and that is a small trick in this question. So y is not just one number, because if ever y were 50, the number 50, what
Mm-hmm.
is 0 times 50?
It's still 0.
It's still 0. So it doesn't matter what y is. So,
Mm-hmm.
so y could be anything. And therefore, even if you could choose y to be minus 2 here, um, 0 times minus 2 would be 0. And therefore, the conclusion, therefore, is y is an element of R. Y is an element of the real numbers. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right, just note that small trick there. They like playing tricks with the grade 11s just to get you guys thinking big. Okay, so let's get going. Next question. Right, the next one is as follows. Solve for x.
Okay.
Solve for x. Let's do some solve for x questions to just, I want to see how well you're going to do here. If we have x minus 3 into x plus 2 equals 0. Number 2, if you have x minus 5 into x plus 3 equals minus 6. Number 3, if we have x squared equals 9. Let's look at the first one. What do you think the answer is to number 1? I'm giving you like 1 minute. Let me know when you're done, please.
Okay.
Okay, thanks then. Okay, how far, Pekalelo?
I'm still
Okay, that's fine.
calculating.
I'm giving you 1 more minute, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, good. What do you think the answer is to number 1, Pekalelo?
It's x is equals to -1 or x is equals to +1.
Okay, that's fine. We're learning. We're learning. I want you to be a star at the end of what is question.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to get like level 7. Okay, right. So I'm glad that you actually took the decision to join us here to practice math with us. So let's look at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 is actually x minus 3 into x plus 2 equals what? 0.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is a very interesting one and very, very easy. So what do? We first look at the question and say, okay, we are multiplying two expressions and the product is 0. Product is the result after multiplication. So now
Mm-hmm.
if you multiply this with that, you're getting 0, which means x minus 3 equals 0, or x plus 2 equals 0. So in mathematics, if you're multiplying two expressions, these times the other, and you're getting 0, it means either the first one is 0
Okay.
or the second one equals 0, or both are 0. Okay, but yeah, in mathematics, this is how we actually just consider mostly the cases where either the first is 0 or the second is 0, in which case, therefore, both of these being 0 is taken care of as well.
Yes.
At this point, we transpose the -3 to the other side, getting a 3. We
Oh.
transpose 2 to the other side. It's plus 2, it becomes minus what?
2.
Minus 2. Do you
Oh,
see that
that's how
one,
easy it
Pekalelo?
is. Oh, I thought I did a long method. I think that's why.
Yeah, I think that possibly maybe you made a mistake there.
Yes.
What did you do? Did you multiply out x times x to get x squared?
Yes, and then 2x and then minus 3x minus 1.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's what kids are likely to do here. But if you multiply them and you get 0, you just say this one, either the first is 0 or the second factor is 0, and you get the answer. So you don't need to sweat. I knew that you could do that. Okay, but because already 0, we don't have to do anything else. We don't need to
Oh,
we don't need to use like the FOIL method, multiply these with that, multiply these with that. We don't have to do that.
oh, okay. Thank you.
What about if I give a small exercise?
Okay.
X minus 5 into x plus 7 equals
Mm-hmm.
0. What do you think the answer is to this one, Pekhalelo? Please do the one in yellow.
Okay. I think x
Yes,
is equals to positive 5 or x is equals to negative 7.
you are a superstar. You are a superstar. Either x is 5 or x equals minus
Negative.
7. So the equations have to be like way too easy this way. Okay, let me just give you one little exercise. Just one more. If you give,
Okay.
x plus 13, and then we give you x minus the square root of 2 equals 0, and they ask you to solve for x, what would you say the answer is to this, Pekhalelo?
I think it's gonna be x is equals to negative 13
X
or
equals negative 13, or
x is equals to positive square root of 2.
well done, x equals positive the square root of 2, and that's excellent stuff. This is good news. This is
Yes.
good news. But here comes the trick, Pekhalelo.
Yes.
Sometimes it's not 0 on the right. It was 0 here.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's not 0. Like the examiner here, these came out of the old grade 11 exams. I've taken these from there. Sometimes the examiner puts minus 6. If it's 0, we just say this one is 0 or that one is 0. What about if it's equal to minus 6? I'm giving you like 2 minutes to try this one. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, number 2. Please let me know when you're done.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, you're done.
Yes.
Okay, what answers did you get, Pekhalelo?
X is equals to negative 1 or x is equals to my negative 9.
Okay, let's check. Let us check. All right, so we have with us x minus 5. That's the question. Into x plus 2. And this is minus 6. Right. We use what we call the FOIL method. So multiply x by x. And x by x is what? Is x squared. So this is called FOIL. And when we use FOIL, we multiply x by x, and it's like the first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we call these the first, the x by x, and multiply those we call outers. These are called the inners, and these are called the last. So
Okay.
that is what we do, so that at this point here, right, so that's awesome stuff. So x by x is x squared. We start with the first, then we come to the outers. Right, so looking at the outers, x by 2
2x
twice x, minus 5 by x,
negative
minus
5x
5x, minus 5 x, 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 minus
If 10.
Good, which is minus 6. Okay, so now at this point, I'll just pass a comment to say the F here represents the first. The
Mm-hmm.
O stands for outers. The I stands for inners. The L stands for the last. All together. So let's look at this now together. So we have x squared. What is 2x minus 5x, Pechalelo?
-1. Yeah? Yeah. Negative.
Yes.
Oh, negative 3x.
What do you think?
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I
I'm,
think
I'm
I
gonna I'm gonna recap on these, but I'm gonna recap on addition and subtraction. This obviously is
oh
subtraction. Okay, so I'm gonna recap on that. Okay, now what about minus 6? Minus 10. Now we transpose the 6 to the other side like this.
okay.
Right. What do you think minus 10 plus 6 is? What do you think?
Is it not negative 16?
Okay, that's a good question, sir. Or that's a good point you're raising. So now, minus 10 plus 6. In mathematics, we use the following law, the following rule. And the rule is that if you're adding two numbers with opposite signs, all right. In mathematics, we if in subtraction, you call that addition with an additive inverse. So now, if you're adding two numbers like this, what do you do, Peralelo? You actually take the sign of the bigger number. Which one is bigger between 10 and
It's
6?
10.
10 is bigger, so the answer is going to be negative. It's going to take the sign of the bigger number. And then after you've
Mm-hmm.
put the sign, then you say from the bigger number, just subtract the smaller number. So you'll say like 10
Oh,
minus 6. What is 10 minus 6?
4.
The 4. Even if you use your calculator and you say minus 10 plus 6, the calculator will give you minus 4.
Oh,
There is a law of factorization that I'm going to discuss with you now. What we do is that to factorize this, okay, what are the factors of these, Pechalelo? What do you think the factors of these are? Maybe let me ask you that first, and then I'm going to give the corrections just now.
the factors of 4.
Yeah, if you factorize all these, this is called a trinomial. Tri means
Okay.
3. So it's called a trinomial expression because
Yeah.
tri means it has 3 terms in it. Okay, it has 3 terms in it. So what are the factors of this? If you put like some brackets here like this,
2 brackets.
they need to put
And then
stuff
x
inside. What would
is
the factors be?
gonna be x on the first bracket and another x on the other bracket.
Gonna be x on one bracket and x on the other. Okay, let's just do it here. Right, 2. You have x squared minus 3x minus 4. X squared minus 3x minus 4, and the result is what? Is 0.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All together. Now,
Yes.
if this is true, Pechalelo, I'm going to teach you
Mm-hmm.
a small little trick to factorize these, but all the time, even in the trickiest of cases, we take x squared. Always we do this. We take x squared multiplied by minus 4, and we get minus 4x squared. This is how we do it. X squared by minus 4, it becomes minus 4 what? X squared. All together.
Yes.
The next thing is we look for factors of minus 4x squared. Just think of minus 4. What are the factors of minus 4? Which when added give minus 3. Those factors will be minus 4x
Mm-hmm.
and x. Because now, if you multiply minus 4x and x, the x times x is x squared. Then the minus 4 is there. But if you have minus 4x plus x, becomes minus 3x. Because if you're adding minus 4x and x, then you take the sign of the bigger number, which is negative, and then from the bigger number 4, you subtract the coefficient. So from
Mm-hmm.
minus 4x, you subtract x, you get 3x. Okay, I hope that is not confusing mentioning the signs there. So you have x squared, we bring down, then minus 4x, plus x. This you might be learning for the first time ever, but it's what grade 11 is about. So you need to just like try to grasp these. Is the trick
Mhm.
to help factorize. Okay, so now we have this and we have a -4. The result is a big naught. What are the factors here? Okay, because now -4x plus x. What is -4x plus x? It's -3x.
Mhm.
Okay, it's -3x. So we have just broken down this -3x into like into two expressions altogether. And then we
Yes.
factor out x now and factor out x. We'll have x -4 here. And we have x -4 there equals 0. Right. So what we're then getting at this point is the following. X -4, x -4, it brings us to something we call the highest common factor. Highest common factor. So if x -4, x -4, which is x -4 like this, and you pull it out, and then you're going to be left with what? Okay, you can put some parentheses like this. When you factor out the x -4, you cross this out, and you cross that out. And if you factor in that manner, you'll be left with, you pull this out, so the x -4 is pulled out, you're left with x. In the place of this, you're left with only 1.
1.
Okay, so this is one trick to factorize this. At this point, it's easy, it's straightforward, because you can be able to see that x is 4, or x is what? Is -1. Altogether,
Mhm.
this is the answer. This is the
The
answer.
Oh,
Right.
okay. I transposed it and said x is equals to -6 plus 5, or x is
Okay.
equal to -6 minus 3.
Okay, so you said that x equals to -6 plus 5, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that is the sort of mistake the students make, because when they're here, they think, okay, here we just say we just transpose the 3. We just transpose the 3, like x equals 3, and then here we transpose the 2 and it becomes x equals -2, isn't it?
Yes.
Good. I mean, that is correct, but that is correct if only we have 0 on the right.
Oh,
If
okay.
only we have 0 on the right, it is correct.
Mhm.
Okay, so um if it's not 0 on the right, then we don't just transpose the numbers. Okay.
Why not?
Okay, why not? Because 0 is special in mathematics. Because you see, the reason is that we're multiplying this with that and we're getting 0. So the mathematicians realize that if you're multiplying two things and getting 0, either it means the first one equals 0. That is why, because if this whole thing is 0, then it's going to be 0 times whatever, but 0 times any number is 0. Or
Uh,
it would mean the second part is 0. If this is to be 0, then 0 times this is what? Is 0.
oh, okay.
So it's only when it's 0 that, because if you take 0 and you multiply it by anything, the result is 0. Like 0 times 2 is 0, 0 times 3 is 0, 0 times 100 is 0, 0 times x is 0. So in other words, if we multiply these two things and the result is 0, it means that either the first one, x minus 3 is 0, or
Mhm.
the second one, x plus 2 is 0, or we're multiplying 0 by 0 because 0 by 0 is 0. So in which case, therefore, either the first is 0, or the second is 0, or both are 0. But yeah, that is taken care of in the right. So yeah, we'll learn this there. So let's look at the next one, please.
Okay.
Because we're learning lots of equations here. We're just making sure that we master the equations and we actually have got the
Can I
answer. Yeah. Okay,
can I
so
just
yeah, we're learning, and more equations. Let's look at the next equation.
okay.
Okay. Let's look at the next one for the grade 11s. I have lots of past exam questions to make sure that you become, because you see, if you want to be fit, like if you're a sports person and you want to be fit, like an athlete. Okay, let's look at x squared equals 9. What do you think the values of x are? Okay,
Let
I'm
me.
giving you like a minute to try it. X squared equals 9. Number 3 is x squared equals 9. Okay, are you able to see that x squared equals 9? Please try it. I'm giving you like a
Yes.
minute.
Okay, I think I got it.
What do you what do you think the answers are, Pegelelo?
X is equals to 3.
Okay, how many answers did you get?
I only got one answer.
Okay, that's fine. Let's check how this one needs to be done. So if you have x squared equals 9, what you do is you apply the square root on the left, the square root on the right, and you put plus or minus.
Yes.
And then the square root sort of removes the square, and we have the square root of 9. You go to your calculator, and the calculator gives you 3. In
Oh,
which case, therefore, the answer becomes 3 or minus 3. So there are two answers you're getting here. You get the point. X equals 3 or x equals minus 3.
3. But when I substitute the x, the -3, it gives me -9, and x to the power 2 is supposed to be 9.
I like that. You're too smart. You're too smart. Okay, let's try that. So because you
Mm-hmm.
understand that x squared equals 9 is what they gave to us. So if you
Mm-hmm.
substitute minus 3 in your square, can you put this on your calculator
Okay.
with the parentheses?
Oh,
Put
okay.
minus 3, like open bracket minus 3, close bracket, and you put the square. And tell me what the calculator gives us the answer.
Hi,
It's not.
Shine.
Yes, yes, Loretta, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, yeah, there's another Lena joining us up there. So, yeah, please stay tuned because we're doing equations now.
Okay.
We're doing equations. We're doing equations. Sorry, please, y'all, stay put. Parallelo, yeah, parallelo. Now we're saying put, actually, you punch in open bracket, minus 3, a close bracket, you square that, and what will the result be on your calculator?
It's 9.
Is it negative or positive?
Positive 9.
Positive. Okay, excellent stuff. Because if you have minus 3 squared, now we have negative times negative. What is negative times negative?
It's positive.
It's positive. Then 3 times 3 is what?
3 times 3 is 9.
9. So that is why both answers are correct. So if you square number, you get 9. Either you're squaring a negative number, because if you square the negative number, you get a positive, or you're squaring a positive number, because if you square 3, you get a 9. And so there are two answers here, and we're excited, and we keep these two answers with us. Okay.
Okay. I said that I can change the 9 to have an exponent 2, which is gonna be 3 to the exponent 2,
I like
and
that
then
one. Let's look at that. X squared equals 9. So you wrote like so, right?
yes.
Then what did you get?
And then I said x is equals to 3. Therefore, x is equals to 3.
I like that. The kids love this. Okay, but it's a mistake because you said that when the powers are the same, you can equate the bases.
Oh, okay.
It's human error. Okay, let's go back to grade 10. In grade 10, we can do it like this, okay? X squared equals 9, but we have, I mean, there are many ways to do this question, you know? Right.
Yes.
So we have like x squared. The 9 is 3 squared. I agree with you there, Pekalelo.
Mm-hmm.
In which case we can transpose the 3 squared to the left-hand side, making it negative. So this becomes something called the difference of two squares from grade 11, from grade 10, which is easier to factorize. What is the formula for the difference of two squares, Pekhalelo?
The difference of two squares.
Yes. There's a
I am not
formula you learned at grade 10 for the difference of two squares. What is the difference of two squares formula? If you have a squared minus b squared, what is the answer? What is the result?
Is it AB? A minus B, and then on the other side is A
Excellent
plus B.
stuff. Excellent stuff. So we come here. So in other words, even here, because it's x squared minus 3 squared, so you're going to have like x minus 3 into x plus what?
B.
X plus 3. In which case you transpose because it is equal to 0. It is equal to 0. You transpose. X becomes 3 or x becomes minus 3. Now there's a
Oh,
danger. So there's a danger with saying when the powers are the same, then you equate the bases, or when the exponents or when the indices are the same, you can equate the bases. You miss out a solution because here we're supposed to get like 2, but you got only like x equals 3. So you missed out one answer, one more answer. You get the point?
okay. Yes, I do.
So yeah, let's look at the next one. Can you look at the next one? Okay, Leonardo, we're practicing equations here with Pekhalelo. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Pekhalelo, because it's our very first time to discuss together.
Yes, you're pronouncing it.
Do you pronounce it that way? Do you say Pekhalelo as well?
Yes.
Right, let's look at this one, Pekhalelo. Now, what about if x squared is equal to x? We need to solve for x. Please, guys, both of you guys, try these questions. I'm going to ask both of you with Lerato. I'm giving you x squared equals x. We're solving equations like solving for x, and I'm bringing like lots of equations from past exams. X squared equals x. What is the answer? Please try it. I'm giving you like a minute. Too easy. Let me know when you're done, please.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, what answer did you get?
I got x is equals to 0.
Okay. How many answers did you get?
Got 1.
Good one answer. All right, so
Yes.
let's check this. So it is x squared minus x equals 0.
Mhm.
Then you pull out the highest common what? Factor. So the highest common factor here is x. So if you pull out x, what are we getting? So this x is going to be pulled out. So if you pull out x, then you're going to be left with like a 1 here. So then this becomes like x minus 1 equals 0.
Mm-hmm.
So we factorize like this. We pull out the highest common factor because x is here in the x squared. There is only an x, but also there's an x there. Alternatively, a kid can just say x squared is x by x minus x equals 0. What is x squared? X by x minus x equals 0. So in which case, therefore, you pull out the x, and if we do so, factor out an x, you factor out the x, or you factor out the x there, then you're left with x. In the place of this one, you're left with a -1 because there's a negative there. So, which means x is 0, or x equals what, Pekhalelo?
Negative,
Okay,
negative.
what do you think? Obviously, this would mean x minus 1 equals 0, which means x is 1.
Oh,
So x equals 1 is like the answer to this, is one of the answers. So there are two solutions. Okay,
mm-hmm.
let's look at the next one. Right, number 5. We decide to give you x squared equals 16x. What's the answer? What's the answer? Okay, I'm giving you like a minute. Try it in your book. Please have your book ready, and You write there in your book with your pen and you try this and you get the answer and you let me know when you're done. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Try it, please. And let me know when you're done. Okay, Lerato is also here. Please try it, Lerato.
Okay.
We're just back to equations and we're learning equations because these things like form part of question 1. Part of the first question. Okay, let me know when you're done, please. Anyone? Anyone? Anyone done? What time is the load shedding, Lorato?
I'm not sure.
Do you mind to check your schedule, please? Just curious, I need to confirm.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, when done with this, please tell me the answer, guys, simultaneously. No, you need you to multitask, you're multitasking, but please just tell me what the answer is to this. I need to get all the answers to this.
I got x is equals to 0.
Okay, you got x equals 0. How many answers did you get, Pekalelo?
I got 2, but both of them are 0. So I
Okay,
don't
that's
know.
fine. Because we're practicing here. There's no hurry. We're not in a hurry here. Right, to solve for x here, we transpose first. Bring the x's to one side. Then we can do a couple of things. Like we know that x squared is x by x. I mean, you can go back and do this. Right, so we then factor out the x. So whatever you factor out, you like cross out. You have x, then minus 16 equals what? 0. At this point, it means, therefore, because I'm multiplying x by that, it means x is 0. You transpose the 16 because now it is equal to 0. Because this equals 0, you transpose 16, making it a plus 16. So there are two solutions, 0 or x equals 0 or x equals 16. Do you see that, Pekalelo?
Yes, I do.
Right, next one. If we give you now 5x squared plus 6x minus 7, the result is 0. What's the answer? Okay, I'm giving you like 2 minutes to try this one. And if you're done, anyone, please share your answer with us. When you're done, please share your answer with us. Okay. Did you check your load shedding schedule, Lerato?
I think it's 4.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, but I won't be able to stay for long there, Sunshine.
That's okay, I understand. But as long as you do something with us, because we're gonna be here for a while.
Yeah, I have a
But
family
you let us
gathering.
know. You let us know whenever you need to leave. But this recording is gonna be there, so I'm gonna send you the link to the video either way when we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, fine.
even I mean the rest of the things you would have missed, you'll find them there on the video. Okay, please now. I'm gonna also send the recording to Pegelelo as well. Pegelelo is our new friend. Lerato has been with us for a while. We're solving for X, please, in number 6. What is the answer? Mathematics is the most important of the sciences, please. It's the queen of the sciences, and therefore you need to make sure that you understand it if you want to do science. If you want to do engineering at varsity, they can't take you to university. So Pegelelo must start applying to university because he's doing is doing like metric 1. Okay, so but you need like a 70 minimum there. So to get a 70, you need to be able to just solve equations, basically. That's all. Okay, what's the answer, guys? Anyone? Okay, so let me know, please, when you're done.
Okay.
Anybody home? Okay, anyone, guys, please? Anyone?
Mm, so it's not making sure
Please let
here.
me know when you're done. We're just solving for X. Just solving for X. Anyone, guys, please? Anyone who's done? What is the value of X here? Or what are the values of X here?
So I got x is equals to 7 over 150.
Yeah, you got 7 out of 150.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's fine. So there's a couple of things you need to do here. So we do the discriminant first, but you compare with. Right, you compare with ax squared plus bx plus c. Because 0 meaning a is what? A is 5, b is 6, and c is minus 7.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so we use the formula because you need to do the discriminant first, which is b squared minus 4ac. B is going to be 6 squared minus 4a. A is 5 and C is minus 7. Right, and then if you do this, you'll be able to realize that you have a couple of things that are extremely, extremely important that you're getting. So you get a very large number here. I need to just confirm what number it is. Right, so, but yeah, just one sec. So if you have, right, I'm just using my calculator here. I can use my calculator on the screen. But obviously, if you have like 6 squared plus 4 times 5 times 7. So this is like 176. And this 176 is the same as 16 by 11. You can just factorize it, but yeah. So not necessary to factorize this. But this is not a perfect square. So, right. So it is not a perfect square. Not a perfect square. This delta, this number is not a perfect square, because if it was perfect square, it was gonna be like 16 by 16 or 11 by 11. So we use the quadratic formula. So you're gonna use x equals minus b plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac out of 2a. So what is b, for example? B is the, okay, let's just write the whole thing down. 5x squared plus 6x minus 7. So you have exactly 5x squared plus 6x minus 7 equals 0. Right, we've seen the A, the B, and the C, so it's going to be minus 6 plus or minus the square root of. Just lower this down a little bit. So, okay, now what we're getting here, guys, is that x is minus b, which is going to be minus 6 plus or minus the square root of. The b is going to be like 6 squared minus 4a. C is minus 7 divided by twice a, which is 5. So we saw that it's 176 under the square root divided by 10. So this is minus 6, okay? So if you have exactly the minus 6 here, plus or minus the square root of, and this is 16 by 11. Okay, if you know that, but if you don't use a calculator, if you can't realize that 176 is 16 by 11, so you can just write it as 176 and use a calculator. In which case, therefore, we got minus 6 plus or minus the square root of 16 by 11 divided by 10. Minus 6 plus or minus the square root of 16, the square root of 11 divided by 10. Minus 6 plus, what is the square root of 4? Or 16? It is 4 out of this. So out of 10. Okay, so this is out of 10 here. So in the end, then we have minus 6 plus 4, the square root of 11 out of 10, or x is minus 6 minus 4, the square root of 11 out of 10. Okay, divide through by 2. You divide each of these numbers by 2. What is 6 divided by 2? 3. If you divide 4 by 2, you get 2, the square root of 11 divided by 10. Divide 6 by 2, you get minus 3, the square root of 11 out of 5, because you're dividing 10 by 10 by 2. 10 divided by 2 is what, Prakadelo?
It's 5.
Right, so this is awesome stuff. So this one was a tricky question a little bit because, okay, normally they say to avoid all these in mathematics in these curriculum, they normally say 2 decimal places. Write your answer to 2 decimal places. Or in other words, they want you to truncate and give an approximation of the number of the answer. So in which case, therefore, this is 0.73, or x is approximately minus 1.93. Okay, 2 decimal places. So this will be the answers to the question. Okay, so yeah, sometimes we learn to solve problems like this. Okay, using the quadratic formula.
Is there an easier way to do this?
Okay, that's a good point. Is there an easier way to do this? Well, there is no other way except that you can use completing the square. Have you ever heard of completing the square?
No.
Completing the square is another way. Okay, I'm gonna do completing the square because you guys are good students, so you can learn from this, but you're gonna get the same answer. Okay, completing the square, but this is not a very nice thing, but yeah, large numbers. Let's just go through it. 5x squared plus 6x minus 7 equals 0. You divide through by 5. You divide through by 5, what do you get?
Why are we
Okay,
dividing by 5?
okay,
By
that's a good
3?
question. Why are we dividing by 5? We always divide by the coefficient of the quadratic term, okay? So
Mhm.
always we want the coefficient to complete the square, the coefficient of x squared must be 1, always, okay? So we divide by the 5 in this case. So it's going to be 6 divided by 5, x, but also you divide 7 by 5 and you divide 0 by 5. What is 0 divided by 5?
Is it not
0.
0?
Okay, we just divided through by 5. To complete the square, we take half the coefficient of x.
Mm-hmm.
We take half the coefficient of x and we take half the coefficient of x. We subtract half the coefficient of x. And then we have minus 7 out of 5, and the result is what? Is 0.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So this is x squared plus 6 out of 5 x. Okay, at this point, what then do you do here? So you need to think about this. You simplify these. So this becomes, what is, because these two is at the bottom, 6 divided by 2, you just like cross out,
Mm-hmm.
cancel out, simplify. 6 divided by 2 is what? Is a
3.
3. 6 divided by 2 is also a 3. And you square this minus 7 out of 5, the result is what? Is 0. Right, so we just add half because the coefficient of x is what here? Is 6 out of 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we multiply it by half and we square everything. We minus the same thing. That is the technique of completing the square. It's part of the grade 11 curriculum. So you like learn a lot of it. Right, so which is x squared plus 6 out of x, 6 out of 5 x, plus we've seen already 3 out of 5 here. You square these minus 3 out of 5. You square that minus 7 out of 5 equals 0, equals 0. Right, to take this trinomial, trinomial is a 3-term expression and you write the perfect square for it. So that's why it's completing the square, because you just write 1x and then you write 3 out of 5 like this and you put 1 square. And if you expand this by using the FOIL method, it's just going to give you that back. minus, okay. Now we have dealt with these three terms here in the technique of completing the square. You might be seeing it for the first time. Right, so if you, all these, they become this. Right, then now you just have to deal with these ones. You can just write them out. And if you do, what is 3 squared? Is 9 out of 25 minus 7 out of 5 equals 0. X plus 3 out of 5. Okay, you can move the things to the other side, having 9 out of 25 plus 7 out of 5 all together.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we're getting. So x plus 3 out of 5. Okay, is equal to 9 out of 5. Did I say here? 9 out of 25. Is 9 out of 25 plus 7 out of 5. Let's add these things on the right. What do you get if you add these things on the right?
I get negative 26 over 25.
Okay, good. So we take the LCD, which is 25, lowest common denominator of the two. Okay, it's 25. 25 divided by 25 is 1. 1 by 9 is 9 plus. 25 divided by 5 is a 5. 5 by 7 is a 35, giving us x plus 3 out of 5, which equals, what is 9 plus 30 plus 35? Is a 44 out of 25. So we have x plus 3 out of 5 squared equals 44 out of 25. And to solve for x here, you take the square root on the left. X plus 3 out of 5. You square this. Plus or minus the square root of 44 out of 25. Which means x plus 3 out of 5 is plus or minus. You take the square root of 25 and you take the square root of 44. Okay, so it means that you have x plus 3 out of 5 plus or minus the square root of 44 and divided by the square root of 25. What is the square root of 25? Anyone?
The square root of 25
It's
is
a 5.
5.
Good. Okay, at this point, you transpose the 3 over 5 to the other side, making it negative,
Mm-hmm.
like this. Okay, so there's no quite shortcut to this one there. So you'd have the 4, you can write minus 3 plus or minus the square root of 44. 44 is the same as 4 times 11 divided by 5, like so.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so when you get to this point, this is minus 3 plus or minus, what is the square root of 4? Because this you can write as the square root of 4, the square root of 11 divided by 5. Minus 3 plus, what is the square root of 44?
Of 44 or of 4?
Of 4, excuse.
Oh, it's 2.
2, well done. So you're very smart. I'm glad that you are concentrating. So this is minus 3 plus 4, the square root of 11 out of 5. Or x equals, is it minus 3? Yes, it's minus 3. Then you have minus 3 minus, set 2 there, please. So this must be a 2. Because you've taken the square root of 4 already, and we got 2. Right,
2.
so
Yeah.
this is also this out of 5. Okay, so these are the answers, but they are decimal fractions, so we actually have already know that. Like this one here is 0.73, or x is approximately minus 1.93, and that's the answer. Okay,
Okay.
so this is completing the square as one method. So I'm going to give you a couple of exercises to complete the square. Right. But yeah, just want to focus on solving equations a lot today. Let us look at a couple more equations. Let's look at this one. An exercise. We're looking at this one. X is equal to 5 divided by 3x minus 2. Anyone? Okay, I'm giving you like 2 minutes. Solve for x here.
Okay.
All right. Let me know, please, when you're done. Please let me know when you're done. Okay. So you'll talk to me as well, Lerato. I want to hear what you think about the equations. We're just solving for x here, like in different situations that can come in the exam. And that might look potentially tricky. So I'm trying to make sure that you understand these things and we are like on the same page together. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Please, yeah, try this one quickly. Please let me know when you're done. Please let me know when you're done. Anyone done yet?
No.
Okay. Anyone done yet?
Oh.
Anybody home? Who is done? Anybody home? Who is done? Is it too long?
No.
Okay. Right. Okay, what's the first thing to do? Because I can see that taking time. That's okay, practicing. But what do we do here?
Don't you not transpose everything to the left and then
And
is equal?
transpose everything to the left. But you can just cross multiply, because if this is the case, then this is x out of 1 equals 5 divided by 3x minus 2. So you can like cross multiply these, which means x into 3x minus 2 is 1 by 5. What is 1 by 5? It is 5.
5.
So you can just like cross multiply. That's what we've done. Right, so we sort of cross multiplied, if you like. Okay, it's not, see, we say just a cross multiplication, but yeah, in mathematics, we multiply by the same thing. So the correct way in mathematics, instead of saying cross multiplication, would be to say you multiply by the denominator here, or the LCD, you multiply with the left by the denominator, 3x minus 2, but yeah, both left and right by this denominator. Right, we distribute here. So x into this is going to be 3x squared. X times minus 2 is minus 2x equals 5. We have got 3x squared minus 2x equals 5. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
3x squared minus 2x minus 5 equals 0. What are the factors of this? Can anyone factorize this one? You can use completing the square. You can use the quadratic formula. Okay, I'm not really saying use those, but those we use if the factors can't be found. If you keep trying, and you can't find the factors, you just use those. Okay, so you can use like I'm not saying use this formula. We used it at some point. You use this one in mathematics when the factors are not easy. When the factors are not easy, you use this. Right, but when the factors can be easily found, then you just easily factorize. Like here, I taught Tegelelo earlier on that to get these factors, what you do is you perform multiplication. So you multiply 3x squared by minus 5, and you get minus 15x squared.
Mm-hmm.
You get minus 15x squared. You look for factors, two numbers that you can multiply to get minus 15, but when you add, you get minus 2. Wow, those are as easy as ABC. What are those two numbers? Anyone?
And we do what?
You multiply 3x squared by minus 5. So if you multiply 3x squared, you multiply it by minus 5.
Right.
What is minus 3 by 5? It's minus 15x squared. In fact, yeah, there's no need because these are just so obvious. So there are two numbers that you can get. So the numbers are minus 5x. Factors of minus 15 are
Mm-hmm.
minus 5x and 3x, because minus 5 times 3. What is minus 5 times 3? It's
Negative
minus
15.
15. But when you add these two numbers, so you have minus 5x plus 3x minus 5 equals what? 0. You get the point?
Mm-hmm.
Because what is minus 5x plus 3x? It's minus 2x.
Yes.
Minus 5x plus 3x is minus what? Is minus 2x. So this has allowed us to sort of break down the minus 2 to this, factor out x here. You have 3x minus this plus 3x minus 5. Okay, now you pull out the highest common factor, 3x minus 5. So if you do that, you cross out these 3x minus 5 like this. And when you do that, in the place of this, you'll be left with x. In the place of this, you'll be left with 1. Which means you have 3x minus 5 into x plus 1. So what are the values of x here, anyone?
Sorry?
Let's solve for x here. Let's solve for x here.
Okay.
Please let me know what the values of x are, please.
Okay. X is equals to 1,67 or X is equals to -1.
Well done. So obviously at this point we have 3x minus 5 is 0, or x plus 1. I'm trying to write a bit more steps here. So if these two, this times this is 0, it means either the first is 0 or the second is 0. We
Mm-hmm.
transpose the 5. Here you transpose the 1, making it negative. You divide by 3 and you have 5 out of 3. So these are like the answers. But yeah, here you got something like 1 point something, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
1,7.
1.7, 1.67, something like that. Okay, so it's okay. Yeah. Um, yeah, you can leave it in this form. It's okay. But also you can write it as a mixed fraction. 3 goes how many times into 5? 3 goes how many times into 5?
Twos and ones.
It goes once, remainder.
Remainder 2/5.
Yeah, okay. Still with
3.
3 like
Oh,
this.
oh,
Okay.
sorry.
So this is called a mixed fraction. So it's called a mixed fraction. How do you convert the mixed fraction to an improper fraction? How?
1 times 3 plus 2.
Well done. 1 by 3 plus 2 is a 5 out of 3. Okay, now the decimal you got in your calculator can be obtained here. Like 3 goes how many times into 2, Pekalelo?
Twos and ones.
It goes 0 times,
Oh,
right?
3. Oh, sorry. I thought
Yeah,
you
when I
said
was saying like 3 goes how many times into 2, so 3 goes 0 times. And
yes.
then now, um, you'd have the remainder, and you put a small 0 there. So 3 goes how many times into 20?
So it goes in 5 times if I'm not four.
Yeah, 3 goes how
Let
many times into 20?
me check.
It goes 6 times because it divides 18. So 3 goes 6 times into 20. 3 goes 6 times into 20 because 6 divides 18. Because 18
Mm-hmm.
divided by 3 is 6. And then we are still left with, out of 18, because 3 divides 18, then you're still left with 2, 0. Okay, so in the end, then this is 1.67
Mm-hmm.
approximately. That's why the calculator gives that. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to bore you much with this. It's primary school work, but we are preparing for university now with you guys. So let's get cracking. Let us discuss surds here. Let us discuss a little bit of surds. And the instruction is straightforward on surds, and it says simplify. Right. I said I'm going to send you the video link, the link to the recording so that you can watch during your leisure. And you can write down the notes because sometimes I move so fast. It's not that I know that you can't copy everything when I'm writing because I'm trying to race against time. And here's the first question. We're doing sets now. 3 minus the square root of
Sunshine.
2. Yes, Lerato?
Sunshine.
Yes, Lerato?
I'm a bit distracted. I'll take the notes later on, right?
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to send the recording. Okay.
It's a bit yeah, it's fine. I'll take the notes from the recording because I'm a bit distracted. Like I said, I have a family thing going on, so it's much happening on my side. So if I don't reply, just know that I'm caught up in something.
I understand. I understand. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
All
That's
right,
okay,
thanks.
Lerato. All right.
Thank you.
Pekalo, please simplify and tell and give us the answer to this one, please.
Okay.
I'm giving you like a minute. 1 minute. Too easy. Please let me know when you're done.
Okay.
Number 1 is what we're focusing on at the moment.
My answer is 7.
7, let's check. Let's see if Peralelo is giving us the correct answer. Right, we have 3 minus the square root of 2 into 3 plus the square root of 2.
Mm-hmm.
We use the FOIL method, so we multiply 3 by 3 and we get a 9. 3 times the square root of 2 is 3 into the square root of 2. Minus square root of 2 by 3 is minus 3 the square root of 2. Right, and then minus the square root of 2 times the square root of 2
Negative
becomes minus. What do you think it is? What is minus square root
2.
of 2 times the square root of 2?
2.
Is a 2,
Negative
right?
2. Yes.
Well done. Right, so what is 3 to the square root of 2 minus 3 to the square root of 2, Pakalelo?
0.
And 9 minus 2 is a 7. So the answer is 7, right?
Yes.
Right, we're looking at the next one, number 2. The square root of 3 minus the square root of 5. Okay, try this one quickly. Let me know when you're done.
Okay. Mm.
Okay, let me know when you're done, Pakalelo, please.
I couldn't finish because I don't know what to do next.
Okay, that's
But
fine because we're practicing here. Right, when you
yes.
have this here, obviously using you use the law. What does the law say? The law of the Surds, that if you have the square root of A times the square root of B, it is the same as what? The square root of AB.
Mhm.
Yeah, generally this is true when you A and B are greater or equal to 0. So at this point, even when you can check here that 3 minus square root of 5 itself is positive. So you're gonna take 1 square root and multiply everything underneath the square roots. So you multiply like so. Just take 1 big square root and you multiply the things like that. Okay. So
Okay.
when you get to this point, you put 1 big square root. Then what is 3 times 3, Pekalelo?
3 times 3 is 9.
3 times the square root of 5. Minus 3 the square root of 5 times 3. 3 the square root of 5. What is the square root of 5 times the square root of 5? It's a
It's
minus 5.
5.
Okay, it's a minus 5. Right, with that said, we continue quickly. Right, so if you analyze these, we realize that these and these will, so one is negative here, so this one is negative. Right, and once at this point, we're able to see that we have the following, so we're able to realize that these two guys cancel out. And then what
Mm-hmm.
is 9 minus 5, Pekalelo?
9 minus 5 is 4.
And the square root of 4 is what?
2.
It's a 2. Good, well done. Okay, so we're looking at the next question on the surds. We're looking at the surds and radicals. Surds and radicals. Just look at this one here, number 3 on the surds. We have 3 into the square root of 45 plus 2 into the square root of 80. So we have 3 into the square root of 45 plus that into the square root of what? Of um right, yeah, that's 3 into the square root of 45. I'm giving you like a minute to do this one quickly. Let me know when you're done, Pekhalelo.
Okay.
All right. Okay, please let me know when you're done.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm not sure what
All
to
right,
do
that's
here.
fine. Let's practice together with parallel. So this is 3 into. The number 45 can be broken into 9 by 5, okay? 9 by 5 is 45. The number 80 can be written as 16 by 5, okay? So now we have the following. We chose these factors carefully because we see that there is a factor that has a square root that is a rational number or that is a perfect square. Like this one, the 9 is a perfect square, meaning we can break these into the square root of 9, the square root of 5 plus 2, the square root of 16 into the square root of 5. So what is the square root of 9, Pechalelo?
Is it 3?
Well done. It's 3. The square root of 9 is 3, and then we have the square root of 5 here, like so, plus. What is the square root of 16 here? We have the square root of 16. What is it?
It's 8. If a 4,
Well done.
sorry.
It's a 4, and I have this. So that we have, what is 3 by 3 here?
3
It's
times
9.
9,
2 by 4 is what?
8,
What is 9 plus 8?
17.
17, and that's the answer. Even if you could put these in your calculator is going to give you 17, the square root of 5, okay? Let's look at the next expression. Right, so that was 3, number 4. I might lose power at 2 o'clock, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
So if I lose power at 2 o'clock, I'll just go off air and you'll know that, hang on, load shedding has happened. I'm just expecting it to happen now at 2 in the next like 4 minutes. Okay, so this is 3. So when you can't see me and you need to know that it is load shedding. Okay, right.
Okay.
Or if you can't see my screen anymore and you can't hear me anymore. Okay, this one, what do you think the answer is, Pechalelo?
Is it square root of 2?
Yes, square root of 2 times the square root of 3, all divided by the square root of 3 plus the square root of 3. A minute is given to you to try this one. You done, Pechalelo?
Do this the roots of 3 cancel each other?
That's a good point. Okay, the square root of 3 plus square root of 3 is, these are like terms, so we add them up. Square root of 3 plus square root of 3 is 2 into the square root of what? Of 3. You
3.
agree? So you cancel these out, and you get the square root of 2 out of 2. And this is the answer. Okay, let's look at the
We
next
don't
one.
go further than that.
Please come again.
Don't we not go further than that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Can you go further than that? It's not necessary to go further than this because always one should make sure the the denominator is a whole number. So it is a whole number. The top can be a radical or a sad. We have no problem with that. Okay, like let's look at the next one. Like number 5. Here we say rationalize. Okay, I'm just pushing because my lights might go off now.
Okay.
Rationalize the denominator. Right, if you have 1 divided by the square root of 3 plus the square root of 2, what's the answer? Try it quickly. We have limited
Is it
time. Yeah,
is
rationalize the denominator. What do we do here, Pechalelo?
I'm not sure.
All right, that's fine. Right, so what we're going to do here, we're going to take 1 divided by the square root of 3 plus the square root of 2. You multiply by the square root of 3 minus square root of 2 divided by the square root of 3 minus the square root of 2. You get the square root of 3. I'm pushing because my lights may go off now. Okay, here, now this like multiply square root of 3 by square root of 3, you get a 3. Square root of 2 by square root of 2, you get a 2. And therefore, this is a 1, giving the square root of 3 minus the square root of 2. And this is the answer. We have rationalized the, the denominator, okay,
Okay.
because the denominator is now like a rational number. It was having like surds before, it had some radicals on it, but suddenly we can see that it is now, we no longer have surds in the denominator. So the denominator has been rationalized, and so we're excited. And this looks so, so good. Okay, so just obviously take note of that because it's extremely important for us. And I'm going to give you just one more question on sets. Rationalize the denominator here. Number 6. Right, we say rationalize. Right, rationalize the denominator. Rationalize the denominator, and we have 5 divided by the square root of 2. What's the answer here? I'm giving you like a minute, like a split second.
Okay.
Okay.
5 to the square root of 2 over 1. It's 5 to the square root of 2.
Well done. It makes lots of sense. Let's just try it together. So obviously we're looking at the solution to this. So we have 5 the square root of 2. So now you have the square root of 2 there. To rationalize, you must multiply by sort of
The
the,
denominator.
please come again.
We're gonna multiply by the denominator.
Yes, so you can multiply by the square root of 2 by the square root of 2. And square root of 2 by square root of 2 is what? It's a 2. Okay, I'm off now, and the lights are off. This is load shedding, and that is the answer. That is exactly the answer, and we're done. Okay, it's load shedding time now, and we are off. We're off air. So thank you so much. Thank you so much is off now. Okay.